Much. I'm glad to be able to join you here on the floor tonight to ultimately talk about jobs. I've heard some folks mention debt and some other issues, but it all relates to jobs. And I hear folks on the other side of the aisle say, when are you going to have a jobs bill? And what I try to convey to my constituents and to my colleagues here is that when we're talking about the debt and getting our spending under control, we are talking about jobs. This country has not seen job loss like we will see if we have a debt crisis. And if we want to be the country like many of us grew up in, a country that is innovative and leads the world in technology and advancement, then we have to deal with our crushing debt. And what has been striking on the issue of the debt here tonight is I've been listening to colleagues from the other side of the aisle, and I've heard about all these plans. I've heard about plans to pay down the debt, plans to deal with the deficit. I've heard about their Medicare plan. The bottom line is they don't have a plan. This president and the Senate controlled by Senator Reid, they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan for Medicare. They don't have a plan in the form of a budget. They don't have a plan to get the debt under control. They don't have a plan. Their only plan is to let the House lead. They will let us be bold while they are politically timid. They have no plan. It would be easy to have a debate between our plan and their plan. But they don't have a plan. So we are left with a situation, for example, on Medicare, something that we want to preserve, something that is a big driver of our debt. On the issue of Medicare, the other side of the aisle likes to compare our plan, which reforms and saves Medicare. They like to compare our plan to the current plan. Well, that's fiscal fantasy, folks. Why? Because the current plan goes away. The status quo goes bankrupt. So the idea that they can adopt the current plan, status quo, as their plan is nonsense. It's nonsense. We see it with Medicare. We see it with the debt. I, like my colleagues here, simply call on the Democrats and the President to propose something that we discuss, something that addresses our problems. I can tell you, I can only speak for me and my constituents, but unless we see some serious structural changes to the spending, the out-of-control spending in this town, the no that I voted on raising the debt limit tonight will be the same no over and over again until this president and the Senate get their act together and give us a real plan. I yield back. A good point. I tell you, the stark contrast between what we are talking about here and what I hear from the other side of the aisle is this. Our colleagues, our Democrat colleagues, talk about the government creating jobs. They say we need to create jobs. I understand, and I think we understand, that the private sector creates jobs. Small businesses create jobs. Individuals create jobs. People pursuing their dreams and exercising economic freedom. That's who creates jobs. It's our job to help create an environment where individuals and businesses can flourish and continue to lead the world. It is not the government's job to create jobs. We are here to create an environment for businesses and individuals and small businesses so they can flourish.
I'll yield to the gentleman from New York, and then we're going to wrap